Hello students, let us start our online English language class. And we already completed the syllabus for our coming examination, first term examination, and the revision classes also we started. And today we will go through the revision of the chapter 2, Granny's Little Laptop. It is a beautiful poem by the author Rowan Mendrick. So, the poet Rowan Mendrick is a writer and poet who is mainly famous for his writings for children. He wrote various poems and pieces which are not only fun but also help to implant good habits in children. And his most famous works are Doormat, Tree Love, Common Sense, etc. And the poem Granny's Little Laptop, as I told you, a very lovely poem. The poem Granny's Little Laptop is a humorous account of Granny's shiny new laptop. Actually, usually grannies don't use laptops, but here the poet tells us about his granny's shiny new laptop and how will she manage it. The poem begins with her wondering about the granny's wondering what to do with the laptop. Although she thinks it is nice and probably the best because it is without mouse. Usually computers have always a mouse, but the laptop is always without mouse. Actually, Granny is scared of mice. That's why to Granny the laptop is best than the computer. The poet begins by saying that she will soon start writing blogs on the environment and global warming. The Granny will start writing blogs in the laptop with the environment, on the environment and global warming. So we can assume that Granny knows a lot about environment and global warming, so that she will start her blogs with that. Since Granny's age, she has seen the world changing through the decades, as she is aged person. The poet also mentions that Granny will be able to get in touch with her family and friends on the internet. Actually, in internet there are various types of chatting. It may be WhatsApp chat or Messenger, or it can be Granny can maybe write emails to her friends and family members to get contact with them with the mails and the chats. And her family and friends also excited and astonished, not only family and friends, everyone, with her global tete-a-tete, global chatting, that is. The poet is sure that Granny will engage in various online forums. You know online forums, what are online forums? That means the social media like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, blog, etc. And soon she have millions of followers asking her for recipes of fish curries and flans. These lines tells us that the poet's granny is a very good cook, obviously. The poet further says that the world will be ever longing for her writings, both in prose and poetry, including her writings on the study of Egypt. In this way, we can assume that Granny may be a very good writer too, and she know very much about the mysterious land Egypt. The poet concludes the poem by expressing his joy over Granny being online. As I told you before, that grannies not usually used to with laptop or social medias. At the age of grannies, they are not usually very much used to with social medias. But as here the poet's granny get a new laptop, the poet just assumes that she will soon be a very expert to deal with the social media and soon have a big follower who will love her writings, blogs and recipes, etc. And for that, the poet is very joyful here, because as Granny being online, he will be very much joyful and a part of global internet, where she can proudly tell the whole world that the Granny is enthralling the world, astonished the world with her knowledge and charm, is his grandmother. And the poet here is a proud grandson who loved to tell all the world that his granny is a skillful person who can do anything with the laptop, who can have a great follower at such of this age, at Granny's age. And now I am telling you the poem. Granny has a laptop. It's slick and shiny new. She gazes at it fondly and wonders what to do. So here in this stanza, the poet tells us that Granny get a new laptop. It's very slick and shiny, and she looks at it very fondly and thought what to do with that. She keeps it gently on her lap. Granny keeps the laptop tenderly on her lap as it is very new, and what to do with that till then it is not aware to her. She really thinks it's nice. She doesn't like the mouse at all. She is very scared of mice. As she don't like mice, so she is very happy with the laptop as it has no mouse at all. But soon she will start blogging and take the world by storm with precise posts on ecology and why our globe is warm. The poet here hoped that his granny soon start blogging and with her posts on ecology and global warming. She will be in touch on email with family, friends on the net and keep us all enthralled with her global tete-a-tete. In previous days, people usually use the letters to contact with others, but nowadays email takes place of the letters. So through the laptop, the poet's granny will wrote to her family members and friends, and all will be astonished with that. All will be amazed how she did all that. Global tete-a-tete means actually a private conversation between two people are chatting tete-a-tete. Okay. Now next stanza, she will engage in quirky forums and have 1,000,000 fans. Quirky forums, that means the social medias, as I told you before. There are so many social medias through which people can get in touch with one another, and have 1,000,000 fans asking for her recipes of fish curries and flans. Next stanza, she will keep the world begging for her poetry and prose. All will be love her writings. Writings, that means poetry and prose, as she is a skillful writer, we think. For her masterpiece in Egyptology, as I told you that she maybe know much more about the mysterious land Egypt, for the stories that she knows. Okay. Now last stanza. So get set, darling granny, poet tell here to his granny. So get set, darling granny, we are so happy you are online. Whenever granny is online, then the poet is very happy. You are a granny in 1,000,000. I am so glad you are mine. Actually, poet is here very joyful and felt proud of his granny, that his granny is not a simple old type granny, but a very modern. Okay. I am so glad you are mine. And poet here just tell that he is so much proud and glad that the granny, the beautiful granny, is his granny. Okay, so this was the poem, and read all lines of the poem very carefully and the question answers as I give you. Okay, so that's all for today's class, and bye till our next class.